Higher Definition would like to thank everyone for supporting us as we round into our 14th year serving the community of not only Rock Hill, the state of South Carolina, North Carolina, but we have far reach and influence. Please enjoy, like, and share our spotlights as we try to illuminate and spotlight positive people and opportunities out in our community. Thank you.
My name is Welvin Simpkins. I'm from Edgefield, South Carolina. Well, again, I'm from Edgefield, South Carolina. I'm married to the former Keisha Bibbs. I got two kids, Braylon and Braxton. I'm a 1996 graduate of Strong Thurman High School. I'm a 1999 initiate into the Kappa Atlanta chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. A 2001 graduate of Clemson University and a major in marketing. And I'm also a 2014 graduate of Liberty University with a master's in school counseling. What motivates me is probably my two boys. Like I said, I got an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. And constantly they, come to me about different things. So I feel it's my duty as a man to make sure that they're given all the tools that they need to be successful as young men. So again, I think that's what motivates me more than anything. I got into school counseling. It actually started in 2005. I was actually working in Charlotte, North Carolina as an independent distributor for a company called Bon Appetit. But me and a few of my fraternity brothers, we were doing mentoring at a middle school, Castle Heights Middle School. And I was doing it every Friday, and all of a sudden, this tug at my heart began to be a little bit stronger as it relates to me being in the business world. So things kind of took a dive as it relates to the independent distributors as far as funding was concerned and as far as making money. So I looked at what it would take to get into the school system, ended up going back and getting my master's, and 14 years later, here it is. I'm still in the school district as a school counselor. One of the most rewarding things about being a school counselor is just being able to see the growth and development of the kids that we come in contact with. I have a unique position within the district where I serve elementary kids from K to 5 that may struggle with behaviors at their home school. So they'll come to our program with the mindset of being able to grow and develop in different ways that they can't do in a much larger scale, in a much larger setting. So we have a way of working with them for 8 to 12 weeks, which in turn, it gives us a lot more flexibility of being able to do different things with them. So when it comes time to return to their home school, they're hopefully much better in a much better space than they were when they came to us. One of the most challenging things about being a counselor is probably, the desire to want to make sure you help all the kids, want to make sure you touch all the kids, but the reality of it is you won't be able to put forth your influence on them. That has to come from within. A lot of times it has to come from support of the families. So that's probably the most regretful thing that it comes with the position. Well, besides my kids, I now have ventured off into the nonprofit sector. I have a nonprofit called Live to Grow, and it's basically a program that's designed to help young men to find their purpose and understand their why. So that's the vision of mine as it relates to what really drives me now. That's the focal point of what I do now as far as trying to gravitate to that industry as it relates to being more impactful. So that's what I would say that motivates me more now is developing that program within Live to Grow. Okay, the concept of Live to Grow came actually from an opportunity that Coach Heron gave me as a assistant coach. He asked me to be the life skill coach of the football team back in 2017. And I began to work on different topics that I felt that young men would be beneficial. And man, it took off from there because all of a sudden, my desire to be more impactful from a life skill standpoint became more important than the X's and the O's. So I began to get real more engulfed in what that would look like. The name itself, Live to Grow, actually came to me one night. God woke me up out of my sleep and gave me the vision of being able to understand what it means to live to grow. And that's mainly just being able to understand, man, I want to be better today than I was on yesterday. And we all come from different walks of life. We all come from different struggles, different things that happen in our lives as it relates to trying to hinder us. But being able to live to grow through it all is the most important thing for us to, as individuals, especially as young men, to be able to understand that you got to be able to move past things. The advice I would give my 18-year-old self will be probably take initiative to grab a hold of your life and allow your life to unfold as it should. I think a lot of times we get caught into what someone else want our life to look like, but making sure you understand that you have a purpose here on life, you have a purpose here on earth, and we all do. So understanding, being able to find that purpose a lot sooner I think would be the most important thing that I would tell my 18-year-old self. My favorite scripture is Proverbs 3rd chapter, 5th through 6th verse. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, he shall direct thy path. My favorite quote comes from Chadwick Boseman. He said that when it comes down to the end of my life, I would hope that I've had all of the ability to use all of my talents. And I can tell God that, I used everything that He gave me. Just to piggyback on what I said in regards to Live to Grow, that's my nonprofit entity. I also have a for-profit entity, which is called Love, Teach, Serve. That's where I go into middle and high schools, and I talk to young men about different things as it relates to the development of them as being productive individuals. So those are the things that I have been working on, and hopefully that I can get more opportunities to do that as it comes in the near future.